Just win, baby.
What's going on, Raiders and Raiderettes? It's your boy, man, Raider Rob, and you're now tuned in to Raider Nation Central. That's right, where we do everything all Raiders, baby. From in-game analysis, post-game, pre-game, weekly previews, anything you want, Raiders, we got it. Thank you for stopping in. Let's get to it. So, you guys already know, tough game this week, right? We got a game going against the Baltimore Ravens in Baltimore, Sunday, 12 o'clock. All right. So, with that being said, we're going to go over the overall game. I'm going to give you guys some of my keys to what I think the Raiders are going to need to do to be able to come out of Baltimore with a win. Let's get into it. So, first and foremost, let's just check the injury report, right? There's going to be some injuries that we might need to talk about, some that we already know about. And for that, let's see what we're looking at right here. Okay. First and foremost, we look like we had 1, 2, 3, 6, 8, 8 people on the injury report this week. We know Brock Bowers obviously had a foot injury, but he was a full participant. Looks like he's going to play. Devon Diablo also had a shoulder injury. Looked like he was a full participant. Looked like he's going to play. Tommy Eckenberg, I don't remember if he played last week. I don't remember if he did or not. I think he was still on the injury report. But he was a full participant Friday, so it looks like he's going to play. Andre James, our center, elbow, light participant, but he was a full participant as well. He's going to play. Colton Miller, our tackle, had a knee injury. He was a full participant, so it looks like he's going to play. Jackson Powers Johnson, he did not play last week. He had an illness. He was still a light participant this week, and he's down with questionable. So I don't really know. If I had to say, I probably would think he would play. I don't know if he traveled with the team or not, but it looks like if he's questionable, he is traveling. But Richardson, our cornerback hamstring, he didn't play. He's out. And Tyree Wilson, we already knew with the knee injury, did not practice. He's out. And we also still know that Malcolm Kuntz is on IR, so he's out for another, counting this game, 3 games. So there we go for the Raiders. As for the Ravens, Adisa Isaac, the linebacker, he has a hamstring injury. He was a light participant all this week, so they have him as doubtful. Roquan Smith, shoulder, but he was a full participant this week, Thursday and Friday. So looks like he's going to be locked and loaded to go. Kyle Van Noy, he didn't practice Wednesday or Thursday, but he was a light participant on Friday. If I had to say it, he might try, but the fact that he didn't practice on Wednesday and Thursday, but he got a light practice in on Friday, could bode well that he probably would try to test it out and see if he go out there. Cornerback Nate Wiggins, he has a neck injury. He didn't practice at all, so he is out. So that is your injury report for the week 2 game, right? So let's talk about something right now. Let's talk about what we think for the Raiders going into this, and what is, you guys could tell me, what is your overall feeling about this game this week? Do you think the Raiders can pull this game out? I'll be honest with you guys. I did not pick the Raiders to win this game. And the reason why I didn't pick them was not because I didn't think they were I didn't think that they could not beat them. I just felt like the travel, these West to East Coast games sometimes doesn't bode well for the Raiders. I want to say, and don't quote me, I want to say they're either 4-6 or 3-7 on East Coast games. It's just very hard for them to kind of sometimes win those games, but it's doable. You just have to play certain style of football, in my belief. So what I do know is Antonio Pierce did up the practice times for the guys. He's trying to get them on that East Coast time, trying to see if he can help alleviate some of that drag that would happen when you kind of travel from west to east, across those time zones. And we'll see if that bodes well for the team. One of the things that I will say that is that Antonio Pierce is trying to make sure to do everything in his power to get his guys prepped and ready to go. So with that, what this brings me to right here is my overall keys to beating Baltimore right here, right? And if we look here, one of the first things you see is control the line of scrimmage. All right. Last week we got killed on the line of scrimmage by the Chargers. Harbaugh had those guys really just pushing our linemen back. we're still trying to, these guys are swapping linemen in and out, and they're just getting. I watched Colton Miller, man, get literally bull rushed into Minshew probably 2 or 3 times by Khalil Mack. It was not great, right? We couldn't get the run game established. Every time Minshew dropped back, the pocket was collapsing. He tries to take off, and then he just starts running, and he gets tackled, and he fumbled. It was a mess, man. So controlling the line of scrimmage is going to be one of the key components that we're going to need to establish ourselves in this game. And then hopefully that will give us a little bit more momentum to keep kind of pressing, right? Because then we control the line of scrimmage. There's a lot more that we can actually do that I believe that there's still some more key components that I have here. One of the other things too is limiting the turnovers. You don't want to turn the ball over a lot against the Ravens because they do have a quick twitch in Lamar Jackson. They do have Zay Flowers. They do have Isaiah Likely. They also have Mark Andrews. So if you give these guys a short field to work with, they also got Justin Tucker. Okay, who can kick the ball out of anywhere. So even if it was that and they just get some quick points, they can do it. So let's limit the turnovers. Let's not shoot ourselves in the foot, because if we do that, it's going to be a long day for the defense, and we don't want that to happen again. Okay. One of the also three is control the clock. Okay. I believe the Raiders work best when they're able to control the clock, time of possession, and use their clock as their teammate, and use it against the Ravens. If we can keep the Ravens off the field because we're out there on long drives, hey man, that works really well for us. That works in our favor. The defense will get a little antsy. They're going to try and see if they can force a turnover. And if we can exploit that, that'll be something really good. So controlling the clock is going to be very beneficial for the Raiders if they're kind of in a game that's very close, but they're able to move the ball, right? The fourth, my fourth key is work the play action. Okay. This is the reason why I said we have to control line of scrimmage and we have to control the clock. How are we going to do that? Well, part of it is running the ball. Running the ball will set up the play action so well because we have receivers that are very good at getting in their spots. I watched a lot of plays with Brock Bowers, and he looks really well, especially man when they go into that 13 personnel where they got three tight ends out there, and they had three tight ends out there, and they threw Tay on the right side, and the routes that they had Bowers running was nice. I believe he ended up having how many yards? How many yards did he have, guys? Did he have over 50 yards? I want to say he did. But the play action looks like it worked. And Devontae Adams is the best at finding a soft spot, right? He's really good at being able to set himself up. We just need a little time, and that play action will help a little bit. It'll slow those linebackers down. It'll make them think. It make them think just for a second, which is all you really need, and then we can work that play action. The fifth thing that we need to try and do is stop the run. Now they do got Derrick Henry. They have Lamar Jackson. Okay. Now I said stop the run. Let me just say this. I should have put this as limit big runs. Okay. I don't really think that we're going to fully stop them running because Lamar is such a excellent ball carrier when he kind of just puts his head down and goes forward. It's very hard to kind of get him on the ground. He's very elusive. He's very quick. And sometimes he'll give you the illusion that he's going to run and he'll fling it to like a Mark Andrews or something like that, or as Isaiah Likely. So stopping the run or neutralizing it to an extent will force the Ravens to have to start putting the ball in the air more. And that's where we possibly can kind of seize the opportunity for some deflected passes, a pick here and there, or just even batting balls down, man. Just not letting those passes get completed. So those are my keys to beating Baltimore. Like I said, I think that they're going to have an opportunity to um, make plays on the defensive side. It's really going to have to be what they're going to have to do to beat this team, man. Baltimore is a really well coached team. Even though they lost to the Chiefs, they're playing meaningful football already, and they're going to be locked in, ready to go at home. This is going to be their home opener, and as the Raiders, we want to come in and spoil that, right? We want to come in there and we want to spoil their home opener. So I believe that these 5 keys, if we can keep all these in line, I believe the Raiders can come out and have a victory, right? One of the things that I think we do need to speak on is the fact of our one side of our defensive line is been completely battled, bruised up. You did see there earlier in the injury report, Tyree Wilson is hurt. Just kind of it's one of them things, man. You know, you hate to see it. Tyree Wilson has obviously been battling a lot of injuries for us for a while, but I believe we signed Charles Snowden and we signed I want to say his last name is Chasian, K Levon, I believe, something like that. Um, man, he just got drafted in 2020. So it was like really weird to see now that he is already out there on the market. I'm not saying that these guys aren't going to help the team. We need someone over there to kind of help. I believe with Max Crosby and Wilkinson on that other side, and even Butler, man, he's stepping up. That we'll have enough to be able to beat the Ravens. Okay, just being able to try to get some of that pressure. If it comes back and we're not able to do that, then we need to start looking elsewhere. All right. So with that being said, let's just try to focus on if we can get this win this week. All right. And while I even say that, I'm gonna throw you guys a few props here, right? I do a lot of if you guys aren't following me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram. I'll be putting my Discord on there sometime this week where I'll be showing you guys what prop bets I'll be taking. On this channel, I'm only gonna show you something from the Raiders game on prop bets I would take. And one of the bets I do like is this one, is the Devontae Adams, man. They got right now underdog fantasy has him for 5.5 receptions, and it's a hot chili pepper. So what that means is it pays 1.6 times of what a normal bet would. They don't think he's going to get 5.5 receptions. I just feel like they want to get Devontae going early and often because it does help the offense. We have to try to get Devontae going in the game. He's such a valuable asset on the offensive side of the ball, man, that he can move the chains. All right. You seen last week, once they kind of got the ball to him, he was able to kind of zigzag in the middle. I think he maybe had caught a couple post routes. Nothing outside. I think one of them that Minshew threw to him outside was way out of bounds. And I think he even still caught that one. So I'm gonna take this 5.5 receptions for Devontae. I mean, it seems like a gimme to me. I know a lot of people probably wouldn't take it. Like I said, don't take this as me telling you who to go for. This is just only who I'm going for, and I think that he will beat this. And I'll let you guys know next week what my record is off of these two. Right. My second one here is Gardner Minshew. Here we go. A lot of people probably gonna say, "What are you thinking, dude? What are you thinking? Why are you picking Gardner Minshew?" Because they got him for. They don't think Gardner Minshew's gonna throw a touchdown, right? It's not a hot chili pepper, but I'm taking this. Gardner Minshew threw a touchdown last week to freaking um, Alexander Madison, and to really be honest, I felt like he could have had a couple more. It was just they just did not get the ball rolling that week. Last week was their first week, probably all playing together in a full 60-minute game time. So this week, some of that dust has kind of came off. Now we're starting to get into the meaning. We're starting to get real football. Now we know this is real football now. Let's get ourselves lined up, ready to go, ready to play. And I feel like Gardner's going to be a little bit more ready to play. And he's going to find the end zone. Do I know who is? Will it be Tay? Hey, well, it could be. It could be somebody of a Bowers. It could be another back. It could be Jacoby Myers. To be honest, it could be a deep bomb with Trey Tucker. I don't know, but I will take Gardner for that touchdown. All right. Outside of that, I think that everything else was something that I just was not really eager to place a bet on. So I left those alone. But those are my two prop bets. I'm going to try to do that every week for you guys, man. Just certain bets that I see and I like. Let me know if any bets that you might think prop wise that you've seen out there. Put it down in the comments, man. Let me know. That way, you know what I'm saying? We can all try to make some money for each other. All right. We still a Raider Nation, man. You know what I'm saying? That's the one thing we trying to do. We trying to rock and roll and kick some butt this year. All right. So with that being said, guys, I am getting out of here. Thank you guys for really staying the time with me, kind of sitting here talking, listening to me ramble about these Raiders. I'm really anticipating about the Raiders can pull this win out this week. You guys let me know. What do you think? What do you think? You think the Raiders can do it this week? Do you think they got enough to beat the Ravens in Baltimore? I guess we're gonna find out Sunday. Look for me on Monday morning. I'm always gonna do videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. All right. I appreciate you guys, man, for sticking with me. Once again, thank you for tuning in to Raider Nation Central. And I'll see you when I see you. All right. You guys take it easy.